Oh, what up, everybody? Long time no see on the live stream. Dang, I got bars, bro. Think the audio should be good. What up, what up, what up? Yeah, that one of my homies sent me that thumbnail. I thought it was hilarious. So, believe it or not, bro, I have like little gamma spiral, like little Bible lawyers spiral about how I call myself Ostradamus as a joke. You can chill. Austin, that closing of Jose's server you did the other night was awesome. Thanks, bro. Much love. Oh, before we really get started, you guys remember I told you a few months back that Trump was going to implement something to the effect of an internet bill of rights, and then he signed an executive order. So for all the little grabblers that stalk streams and try and take them down, we'll take a look at this. Executive order on preventing online censorship. Free speech is the bedrock of American democracy, whatever that is. The freedom to express and debate ideas is the foundation of all our rights as a free people. So basically, back up, grabblers, because nobody cares. So yeah, before you think you're about to censor my streams, go check that out real quick. And while you're at it, read the Constitution. And then while you're at it, stop watching porn and being little gammas. Hi, Austin. Great to see you. Great to see you. All right, everybody. You've been on Facebook? I don't have it. Yeah, I can't believe I'm not kicked off. I'm staying on there till I get kicked off. My man came back. What's up, bro? What's up, HRH? Mr. Anderson, what's up? I friended you on Facebook and followed. Cool. I have like probably 50 pending friend requests, but I'll get around to them one day. All right, let's just get into some of this stuff. I'm going to give y'all my take on what I think is to come, right? Hence the Ostradamus, which is so funny to me. Dude, if you don't think that picture is funny, you're lame. Let's just look at it again because people actually spiral about this. All right, anyway. So some of this you probably heard me say, but we'll do it real briefly. So that we've covered the first one. Trump was cast in the world play as a hero, right? And so he's going to champion basic rights that he shouldn't be championed for because they're common sense and inherent upon the fact that we're humans that breathe. Well, actually, we're men and women. But anyway, so that's the first thing. He's going to champion this. They're going to end up taking out the Bill 203C. And they're, of course, going to paint this as a political censorship, as opposed to, they censor the flat earth. I'm not allowed to talk about the grabblers, but they're going to act like it's political censorship. But nevertheless, I told you this was coming, and I can't predict this, the specifics of it. Do they fully back off censorship? Do they say they're backing off censorship, but then they still censor flat earth and stuff? I don't know. I'm not actually a prophet. It's a joke. And neither was Nostradamus. He was a grappler. But anyway, so yeah, we covered that. So they're already doing that. And then they'll do the final steps here coming soon. So let's get a little update on Clown World. I posted this on my Facebook. This is from cdc.gov. Scrolling down here to what does your results mean if you test positive? A positive test result shows you may have antibodies from an infection within the virus that causes COVID-19. However, there is a chance a positive result means that you have antibodies from an infection with a virus from the same family of viruses called coronaviruses, such as the one that causes the common cold. And of course, we literally told you that 4 or 5 months ago, and Facebook struck it down as false news. And now they're coming out telling you themselves. And of course, guys, we know that's how wizardry works. They have to tell you to your face that even though they're ramping up the numbers that everyone's getting sick, it could just be that they have the cold and you still go around wearing a mask. It's almost like I'm not even mad at them. Almost like, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to get you to sign a piece of paper that says, we are completely tricking you, everything we're telling you is a lie? Like, I don't know. So anyway, it's clown world. But so I was thinking, what are they gonna do from here? Because this story's getting played out. People are like, man, the average age of death for the Holocaust is lower than the average age of death in general. No one seems to be getting sick. I don't know anyone around me that is sick. And if I do, turns out they could just have the cold. It's just a guess. They get tons of false positives. And we sent a fruit in and it tested positive. Nurses have come out and said that they just sent in completely empty swabs. They came back positive. They shut down the entire economy. The ramifications of the economic totalitarianism is significantly worse than anything that some little cold could do. The numbers are adding up. They're making all kinds of nonsense up. The spell is slowly wearing off. So they distracted us from the spell. They hit us with the race card in 2020 and people still fell for it. A bunch of virtue signaling, justification of the fact they actually want to be superior to you. And now they're ramping back up towards the pandemic narrative. But of course, this is a social engineering psyop. That is the big picture. So understand. So let's just move on. Like I said, people are starting to realize this is not a big deal. This is less dangerous than the cold. No one's dying. And that's just assuming that their diagnosis is correct. And they're admitting they don't even know if they're correct. And of course, if you're really actually willing to take the red pill, virology is pseudoscience. There's no scientific correlation through a controlled clinical study that substantiates the claim that there's a scientifically proven, empirically proven correlation between a virus and the causality of disease. But moving on. Now, I guess they want us to be scared of the swine flu again. New swine flu in China could morph to cause human pandemic, study warns. Isn't that wild that we haven't really heard of the word pandemic being used so frequently until 2020, and now there are threats of them everywhere. And of course, if you look at this little Grabbler site, because every mainstream media branch that exists is owned by the Grabblers, WHO warns coronavirus pandemic speeding up. Oh my gosh, just please get really scared. All this is just fear porn. That's all this is. Everything they tell you is fear porn. So maybe stop watching actual porn and you'll be able to see through the spells. But maybe this is what they do. So people are like, oh man, I'm on the fence. I can't figure it out because I'm a blue pill normie that watches a whole bunch of runaways getting plowed all the time on the Grabbler tube. So I don't really know what's going on because we're in a constant state of confusion where they flip-flop their stories of, oh, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is bad. So now what they will do, in my opinion, is compile these fake threats, right? So that just since you don't know what's going on, the blue pill normally will just be like, I got to stay in because the swine flu and because of COVID. And oh my gosh, the flu season is probably about to come back too. There's diseases everywhere. And they're just going to wear their mask and stay inside and watch their porn. So I'm going to try to intertwine some predictability here. But to be fair, 2020 is the climactic year of clown world. So I really can only give you potential scenarios. So if you do remember, Trump, the Don, as he's known, the Jesuit Grabbler himself, has already said he's not going to shut down the country in the case of another pandemic. So let's just listen to this little Grabbler.
People say that's a very distinct possibility. It's standard. And we're going to put out the fires. We're not going to close the country. We're going to put out the fires. There could be, whether it's an ember or a flame, we're going to put it out. But we're not closing our country. I think we're going to be helping people out. We're going to be getting some money for them during the artificial, because it really is. It's an artificial closure. and now we're going to be able to open it up. This isn't like for long-term problems, and it takes years and years to have it come back. The Depression took 12 years, more, 14, 15 years. We're going to be back next year, maybe even in the fourth quarter. In a few months, we're going to be back because we closed it, and now we open it. But I would say there's going to be one more nice shot, one more nice dose. Therapeutically, we have some things coming out which we think are going to be great, but they have to be tested quickly, and we're doing it very quickly. Look, I don't want to have a stadium where you're supposed to have a person and then 7 empty seats and then another person. So we might do some outdoor big ones, and we may also just wait till the stadiums can open up. I think it's going to be soon. We'll go to a place like Florida. We'll go to a place like maybe Georgia or some other place where they're going to be opening up. Whoever opens up first. The demand has been incredible to get going with the rallies. I just hear the music in the background. I'm saying.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't even do the last 20 seconds, but yeah, you get it. He said he's not going to shut down the country. And so this will be framed as a inflation of numbers, right? As a politicization of the current climate leading up to the election. That's how this is going to be framed. So no, it's not just totalitarian government telling you what to do and socially engineering you to accept the New World Order. It's because Trump is here to save the day. He came from out of the system to join the swamp, and they're just trying to get to Mr. Deep State. And that is officially going to be the narrative that is painted and accepted on a wide scale. So, yeah. This is where a lot of truthers like disagree with me, I think. Well, I don't really care. Obviously, I'm Nostradamus. I make predictions. And I think a lot of the QAnon narrative has to appear to come true so that that fully works. And I stick behind that 100%. Moving on. So I typed this in because someone had said something to me about it. QAnon oath. This is a bunch of people taking the oath to the Constitution, their corporate entity that controls them. And it's just endless. It's just videos all day of people taking the oath. Where we go, one we go all. Trust a plan. Trust a plan of the deep military operation from inside the same governmental structure that we're attempting to fight back against. But we're seeing this is translating over into actual governmental transference, right? So Joe Ray Perkins, U.S. Senate nominee for Oregon, has taken the QAnon oath because that is where this comes from. The QAnon movement is why everyone's taking the oath. So she's obviously buying into the QAnon thing. This girl is not some hired agent that's lying about QAnon. No, she's just a moron that believes it. Okay, and that's the way most of these people are. But yeah, I just found that to be hysterical. And if you make one of these videos and post it on the internet, please unsubscribe immediately. Moving on. Let's check out this little grabbler, what he's up to. Where's your mask, Fauci? Dr. Fauci, topping out at 5'3". You're just sitting here thinking about how quickly you can get home and watch Runaways. He hates every single second of his existence. Look at this dude. This dude's got to be like 5'2", right? What's so funny, you little grabbler? Yeah, so of course we already know this. They aren't actually obeying the totalitarian rules they give you, but if you don't obey, you're a terrorist. Moving on. So this is The Economist Twitter, and this is their most recent cover. Yeah, okay. Well, let's read their comment first. Governments routinely ignore seemingly far out risk. Rocked by a fake Jesuit space monkey religion globe pandemic, they need to up their game. Okay, cool story, you little grabblers. So if you can see in the picture, of course, they got a solar flare, which too bad that the sun is local and small and not doing anything like that ever. Nuclear bombs, which are not even real. Nukes don't exist. If that's too much for you, I don't know what to tell you. And then we got this fake virus threat over here, of course, which we know not to be true. Asteroids coming to hit the globe Earth, which, of course, literally can't happen because the Earth isn't a globe. I don't even know what this is supposed to be. Is someone on a surfboard? Well, cool story. A volcano, the swine flu. Oh, my gosh. Even though it's proven that even if you believe the inaccurate pseudoscientific interpretation of viruses, you cannot translate a virus from animal tissue to human tissue. That isn't how it works. And even your cat's gonna die. You should be very scared. Even your pets are in danger. And then we got the kid wearing an army helmet as if he's going to be drafted, as the little boomer obeys the government and wears their masks, scared of something that doesn't happen. So this is just fear porn, of course. All of this is nonsense. But you can see kind of where they want you in a state of constant fear so that you have a malleable state of mind and you blindly obey the government without questioning it. And in fact, you turn around and thank them for controlling you. I find that intriguing because if you know anything about The Economist, it's owned by the Grabblers, I think the Rothschilds actually, and they've been basically predicting things through subliminal messages on their covers for years. And of course, I think it was 1987, they predicted the collapse of all the world's fiat currencies, wherein which a token rises up out of the ashes with the phoenix. Of course, it will be a digitalized token, which I've already told you about. And we'll get more into in a second, but I have a whole stream about it called New Monetary System Incoming. So some brief little predictions for you. The truth about JFK is going to come out in a little bit more detail, though it won't actually be the truth. We diet woke. JFK wasn't even assassinated, is what appears to be the truth. But of course, we know in 2018 that additional documents were released, but they were heavily redacted, and the little grabbler Trump, who's supposedly draining the swamp, seemed to be cool with redacting all the information of governmental corruption regarding one of the most prominent assassinations ever, and people will literally do mental gymnastics to explain how he's still a good guy, but expect some truth and clarity to come out about this, or at least in the diet woke version, people think that he's going to explain it. Even JFK Jr., expect some information to come out about that here soon. Next, expect some some truth to come out about Seth Rich. This is going to go mainstream, probably in the form of directed documents or documentaries, like I told you last stream or so. But this is pretty interesting. Brother of murdered DNC staffer Seth Rich wants Twitter to unmask the FBI leaker. Twitter says, hold on, they're tired of the conspiracy that he was murdered or whatever. And of course, this is when we had the whole Pizzagate thing come out because of the leaking of the emails. He worked in the DNC. Now, is this crafted or actually organic? I don't know. I would say it's very possible this dude just dropped the ball when it comes to the elite plan, right? Like he didn't know, and he released some of the corruption, and then that's when they activated the QAnon psyop. It's also possible that this was crafted and then they killed him, or that he's on some island with Epstein. I don't really know. I don't think he's that big of a player. But either way, what I'm saying is this is going to go mainstream within the next 2 to 3 months. So there you go. There's another prediction for you. Is Obama above the law? Judicial Watch, you see that the vote is 85% to 14% no, he's not, which of course actually he is because he was a president. And he was our first gay president. Oh, except for JFK, who we were just discussing. But yeah, whatever. This is going to also come out where it's already started to hit quote Congress. They're going to give you some diet woke version of corruption. They're going to be hyperbolic about it because they know that the blue pill normies still trust the government. This is the most crazy abuse of power in the history of presidential office because he wiretapped a political opponent. Of course, they're all on the same team. But this is going to come out so that it solidifies the false narrative that Trump is draining the swamp and that he's fighting the deep state here to save you. Because, again, he was cast in the play as the hero. Something else that will happen is this is the United States Courts of Appeals against Hillary Clinton, right? And she had to have a hearing June 2nd, but because of the Holocaust, she didn't have to actually go in person. She just took written statements and it was taken over the phone, and she wasn't actually deposed. So what happened was one of the judges said, no, I want her to be deposed. I believe that she should have to address that in September, which is pretty perfectly aligned with when I think that this, was like, mainstream, well-documented movies, or it'll even be on Netflix and stuff. Like I'm telling you, QAnon narrative is going mainstream within the next 4 months. Believe it or don't, it doesn't really change anything. It is definitely going to happen. And this will all happen around the same time frame. How convenient that around September, right before the election, is whenever it's going to really solidify the fact that Trump's draining the swamp. Believe it, don't believe it, doesn't matter. It's going to happen. All right, I told y'all that a new monetary system was incoming. I know I'm going kind of fast, but I'll put all the links in the description. Yeah, so I told you the new monetary system was incoming. This went into effect today. And we're going to come on down here. The United States, Mexico, and Canada have reached an agreement to modernize a 25-year-old NAFTA into a 21st century high standard agreement. Okay, cool. We're getting more into the technological times of today. The new United States, Mexico, Canada agreement will support mutually beneficial trade, leading to freer markets, fair trade, and robust economic growth in North America. Intellectual property, digital trade, financial services. Okay, yes, this is the digitization move in its origins. So you saw it here. It's obviously happening right now. So yeah, you can go look into this if you want to, but it's explaining digital trade, which in fact, the XRP ledger already is 1/3 of the trade between the U.S. and Mexico. They're acting like this is just now happening, but it's been happening. I do not just tell you guys this out of just a guess, right? This is actually happening right now. Just no one's paying attention because they're wearing masks and trying not to pass out. The new digital trade chapter contains the strongest disciplines on digital trade of any international agreement, providing a firm foundation for the expansion of trade and investment in innovative products, innovative meaning the digitalization, and services where the United States has a competitive advantage. Okay, so yeah, there you go. There's a brief overview of what to expect. So I'm going to come talk to y'all now. But yeah, my predictions haven't changed. There's a little bit more clarity on them, but the digitization is already happening. So I don't know why people don't see it. But yes, this economic system will implode. Yes, they already have the replacement. Yes, Trump will implement all kinds of technological advancement when it comes to internet speed, when it comes to processing of cross-border payments. That is why I told you, not financial advice, to look into XRP, because it's a primary vertical, which is just whenever a company is in its origination stages. What they would do is they pick one vertical, meaning that they have a certain usability that they offer at the beginning. Like Amazon started as selling books. That was their first vertical, where now they sell everything. XRP's first vertical was cross-border payments, because SWIFT is what is currently used, and it's antiquated, right? It's old. It's out of date. It's like from the 80s. So they're going to update that via Ripple, working with all of the governmental regulations. And once regulatory clarity comes out, it will be implemented. It's already being implemented. So take it or leave it. I'm way behind on the chat, guys, so I'm just going to start reading now. Austin, how likely is it that Biden is the next president? Less than 1%. Trump has already been selected for 2 terms. He's the president for the next 4.5 years. This is how that they accomplish the major shift in infrastructure. You do not accomplish that with Joe Biden. Joe Biden comes out here and starts talking about, oh, we're going to make a new economy. Oh, we're going to change all the rules. There'll be a revolt by morning. That dude's a psychopath that likes little kids and can't even speak coherent statements for more than 5 seconds and like drops acid for breakfast or something. He's like a crazy person. So no, that will never happen. They're actually intentionally putting him in place so that people will be able to believe that Trump wins in this landslide, which presidents are selected, not elected. But I keep saying this to people. It's like they don't understand what I'm saying. They select the presidents. We do not elect them. But they do not just pick the person and then sit back. Like, they coax our compliance. They want the people to actually prefer the president they selected so that no one questions the results. They're like, yeah, of course Trump won because it was Joe Biden. I mean, it was no actual competition in the first place, but they still do make sure that we believe that we selected that person. It's really not that complicated. So their job is not done once they select the president. They are socially engineering you. They're predictively programming you. They're constantly brainwashing you to think that the results are organic. It's pretty brilliant, I guess, But yeah, Joe Biden, no chance, dude. Now, so to clarify, my prediction is Trump's here for another 4.5 years. It was known he's going to be an 8-year president for a long time. He may even be a 12-year president because they tried to impeach him and he beat the case, and I'm pretty sure that allows him and qualifies him to have a third term. But I'm not going to predict that he has 3 terms. I don't know. To be honest, there is one part of the Nostradamus prediction that I certainly cannot fully predict. It would throw a wrench in the entire prediction if they take Trump out. Now, they might, when I say that, it's take Trump out, just like they took out JFK, right? Like if they fake an assassination on Trump, or they may kill him as some type of ritual, I don't know. But if that happens, or they say that Mike Pence and Trump both get the Holocaust disease, I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's possible. I don't really know. That's something I can predict. That would fit right in with 2020 if we're being real, which has just been chaotic. But I think that Trump's here for 4.5 years, more at least, and it really ramps up once he is reelected. That's when we'll really see the infrastructure change. So just expect it. It's not even a big deal. You need to just be on your toes and preemptive and try to benefit from it. So if they are normalizing us not using cash, because this social engineering psyop is multifaceted, right? Like they've got you to blindly believe the government. They've got you to accept that your retirement's gone, that your businesses are closing, all this other stuff. And the list of social engineering is endless, right? There's checking boxes, and we all know that. This is old news. But what people don't seem to really grasp is one of the biggest parts here is to normalize us moving towards digitalization of money. And people kind of do know that, but they don't really understand like how that would be accomplished. Like people think that the government's going to get on the TV and be like, turn your cash in by tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. You're now in the New World Order. Take your tattoo. That isn't how it works at all. Like they're going to just normalize it. They're going to be like, no one's even using cash right now. Because in the big cities, metropolitan areas, people aren't using cash, bro. Like they're saying, oh, there's a lack of coins. No, there's not. I have coins everywhere. I hate them. I like throw them when I get them. There's plenty of coins. There's not a shortage of coins. They want to replace the current economic structure and replace fiat currency and paper money because that ensures privacy of transaction. You are not allowed privacy in the New World Order. So they've got to get rid of it. And of course, your coins are worthless. Half of them cost more money to make than they're even supposedly worth. Yes, it's actually a clown world. This is actually a clown world update. So cash is going to be weeded out, but it's going to be like most people, they're going to keep on pushing us to where most people just don't even use cash. Already, most people don't. Now they're going to make it where companies aren't accepting the cash. Then what they're going to probably do, now I don't know, this is a tentative, I'm like on the fence about this prediction, but when they sign the second stimulus, which will come with a stimulus check to everyone, and they'll probably further federal aid, blah, 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 they may actually at that moment implement a new facilitation method, such as the XRP ledger or something like that, that is like immediate. And so if you want your money, your free handout from daddy government faster, then you make sure you have a bank account, or you make sure you take an account with the government. They may just send you some card or whatever, but everything will be digital. And so as opposed to waiting for the check to come into the mail and then going and cashing it, you'll have to wait weeks and weeks and weeks. You'll get your money immediately, instantly, if you just move over away from cash. I expect that to probably happen in the second stimulus. or at least it'll begin to happen with that stimulus, right? They'll start to infiltrate or integrate the new digital facilitation. So yeah, that's going to happen. That's probably one of the biggest things being accomplished here, is shifting us to the new economic paradigm, which is pretty obvious, right? I mean, they've pumped trillions of dollars into the system, and they do it all the time, but nothing comparable to 2020, right? Like if you look at the chart, it's like this right here, and then 2020 is just like straight in the air. The dollar's already dead. And we're in a stage of hopium. Get your money out of the stock market, not financial advice. 90% of the stock market's owned by 10% of the people in it. I don't want to just keep talking about the money, but you need to understand this is clearly the future we're headed to. No, the world's not ending right now. So I said this in the stream I posted from my Facebook. Beware of any of the truthers on YouTube that are just spreading the fear porn, telling you this is the end of the world. The Mayan calendar ends in 2020. We're all going to die. Martial law any moment. I'm not going to say any names, but certain people that probably still watch a lot of porn have been saying that they're going to take us over with martial law since this started. Look at the tanks. Oh, they're going to take us all over by martial law. Oh, man, little squirt boys that are just constantly in a state of fear, and they propagate fear for clickbait, and you'll buy their bug out bag or whatever it is, and it's honestly repulsive to me. I think it's disgusting. So, like, yeah, just chill, bro. Chill. If you, like, I don't know. I can't relate. I don't do YouTube to make money or to get a lot of views or, you know, and that's obviously maybe your motivation. But can you chill, bro? Because how many times do you have to repeatedly be wrong about your fear-mongering, end-of-the-world, nonsensical predictions before you just realize you're wrong? You're an idiot. So if that offends you, maybe I'm talking about you. Let's just leave it there. This is the worst apocalypse ever. There are no zombies. That's pretty funny. But this is the best apocalypse ever. I'm assuming that's what No Despair Bear said. Best apocalypse ever. One thing it has is it's shown you. It's really easy to notice someone that's completely brainwashed now because they're just in the state of depriving themselves from oxygen, wearing a mask. But yeah, the world's not ending in 2020. This may be something like a 10-year plan to normalize us and guide us into the new world order, the new infrastructure, whatever it is, and also something that people need to understand. Of course, we know that the scriptures, they do indeed prophesize that there will be a mark of the beast. You have to take it to buy, sell, or trade. But it's not like, dude, like I said, they're not just going to come on the TV one morning and be like, you're now in the new world order. You know, like, come on down and get your tattoo. Your quantum tattoo will facilitate all of your money. If you do not have your tattoo by the end of the week, you will be homeless. Like, that's not how it works. Dude, they changed the economic system. While nothing else changes, right? They're socially engineering things. Obviously, tons of things are changing right now. But generally speaking, like, they just switch over. And you just keep on earning your money. You keep putting your money in accounts. You keep on spending, saving the way that you do right now. You go with your debit card everywhere. That's how it starts. They change the backing of the money. They digitalize the money, right? And most people probably won't even notice that it's digitalized at first. Okay, so like they'll change the transaction platform behind the scenes, the settlements. You know, and I've explained this once. It's like if you go out to eat, you pay with your debit card, and now, okay, you paid your bill, you're allowed to leave, but the restaurant didn't get the money right then. It still has to go through a settlement process. Sometimes it can take days, and when it's a lot of money, it can take like a week or two. Very old, out-of-date technology that was done intentionally, right? Because what you would do is you'd constantly update every 5 to 10 years and kind of keep up to date. They didn't do that. They still have like 1980 systems. That's done on purpose. That's done on purpose so that they can swoop in with the new one, making a huge leap, and just a completely like unfamiliar system will be the replacement. This is all done on purpose. And so what I'm saying is you won't even realize the new system's here at first. You won't realize your debit card is going to go through the same speed. Now, people that own companies, they may realize like my settlements are way faster now. And that will be the initial part. And then once that gets ushered in, they're going to probably be like, look, you know, we're digitalizing the money. Now that'll probably come after a full economic implosion. And as you can see, the little Jesuit puppet Trump, he's talking about, oh, quarter 4 and quarter 1 are going to be awesome. I don't think so. Maybe the hopium extends to Q1, but dude, the dollar is dead. Once he's reelected, it doesn't really matter, does it? So, and again, they're not actually elected, but understand the world is stage. They have to make you think that. So, expect the big changes after that. And again, I'm telling you guys that we're just now getting into, like, we're just getting past the opening credits of the movie. We've basically watched like the opening scene of a movie where they establish the characters, right? And so like we know the base premise of the movie. It's just now getting started. And we're going to start to see QAnon go viral, mainstream, well put together documentation, putting out all of these old diet woke secrets. Just like, I always forget the name of the documentary, but the one that kind of went around and was well documented, explaining MK Ultra and all these diet woke things that people should have known a long time ago, and it was well documented. Okay, and then it got a few million views, and they took it off on YouTube. So to add validity to it, like it was being censored, you're about to see a whole lot more of those. You're going to see one like about maybe Hillary, maybe about the emails, maybe about Seth Rich, maybe about JFK. You're going to start to see these, and dude, they're going to even probably leak into like Netflix and Amazon Prime. Like, this is part of the plan. They want you to think the mainstream's attacking Trump and it's this. No. They are all part of the plan, and they will indeed start to push the QAnon narrative. So you need to be prepared for that. I know a lot of you people think there's no way it's going to happen, but it is going to happen. 99%, because I just don't want to say 100. So, sorry guys, no. It was a much more recent one, and it was about MK Ultra, and it showed some pedophilia in Hollywood. I always forget what it's called, but anyway, yeah, we're gonna see a lot more like that. Our governor made a statewide mandatory mask order today for practically all outdoor activities. I haven't put on a mask yet, not going to start now. Yeah, I haven't touched a mask or even thought about putting it on, and no, mandate doesn't mean anything. They just want to scare you into compliance. Out of shadows, yes, Mr. Anderson to the rescue. For sure that Overton window has shifted, and they have no choice but to do that. Yes, exactly. Dude, they've done a very good job, guys. So, and I've told you all what I think. It hasn't happened yet. So my predictions, there's not really much to add, right? Like, I'm just showing y'all, like, this right here, dude, this right here. I told y'all this was going to happen. I told y'all this was going to begin to happen, and it is. This went into effect today. They're digitalizing money, making it a 21st century technologically advanced version of settlement, cross-border settlements, because SWIFT is outdated. I told you guys that was going to happen. I already told you. It's not like I'm some genius prophet. I just am applying pattern recognition, and I know that my prediction is the most efficient way the grabblers could get us. And they typically do things very efficiently. So that's all it is. I'm just predicting, like, if I was a grabbler, that's all it is. It's not that hard. You can do it too. You know what I'm saying? I haven't put on a mask yet, and I'm grocery shopping for a living. Nice. Yeah, dude, don't ever wear a mask. Actually, I was watching Owen earlier, Owen Benjamin, which if somehow you don't know who that is, you're probably a complete and total loser. And one of his followers sent in a video where they measured the oxygen intake with and without the mask, and like immediately starts saying, "Oh, threat." It's like, I don't know, it's crazy. Actually, pretty interesting. In that stream, Owen's like, they were telling us about the global warming carbon dioxide increase this whole time. That's what it really is that you're going to create the carbon dioxide intake increase on yourself. That's a pretty interesting take. Think like a psycho and you'll understand them. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, man, don't wear a mask no matter what. Like, I'm flying in a few days. I've gotten a few emails from the airline saying I have to wear a mask. I'm literally not going to even bring one. I don't even know where to get one. I don't want to know. I don't care. If they give me one, I'm going to throw in the trash. They're not going to make me wear one. So just don't wear them. Just don't comply. They know that if they send that email out, that 99% of people will just start wearing the mask, right? That's why they do that. That was Gasman Bear with the video. Yeah, shout out Gasman Bear. Epic video. So yeah, and I think that they still are going to replace the media. Well, like, I'm not sure exactly how that happens though. You know, like, do they take the current infrastructure and kind of replace anchors and stuff? I don't think so. Fox News may survive. It seems to be that's kind of like their propaganda on that they've selected for now, obviously, underneath this illusionary right-left paradigm supporting the current president of Trump, blah, 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 blah. InfoWars is also a selected, controlled opposition alternative media platform that they've set up years in advance for this very moment when they shift the media. Trump's told you from the beginning that they're going to go out of business because they're fake news. We know they actually are fake news, that they're propagandists controlled by the CIA, at least infiltrated by them. But I don't know exactly how they pull off the media, but the media will be replaced. The economic structure will be replaced. Technological structure will be replaced. Governmental structure will be replaced. Censorship structure will be replaced. This is all going to happen. It's all going to happen. And they're going to make it look like a bunch of these dirty players in the government are going down. So, not to get too reiterative, a lot of y'all have heard me say it. My predictions are the same, bro. My predictions are the same. And when I told you that they were going to implement something to the effect of Internet Bill of Rights, people are like, that'll never happen. They're never going to stop censoring us. I'm like, yeah, they are going to do that. And now that they've done it, it's like people are just going to go right past it and be like, but I know none of this is going to happen. It's like, okay, well, you sound like the people that think they live on a magic spinning cartoon ball that's tilted at 66.6 degrees. Like, chill, bro. Chill. Like, you don't got to fight everything, The PSYOP works because you think that it would never happen. Could someone stop this ride? I want to get off now, please. Nope, too late, Paige. Too late. No refunds. Second wave of pandemic is coming. Yeah, what I think it is going to be much more ambiguous. So it's going to be like this, right? Like this right here. New swine flu in China could morph to cause human pandemic. It's going to be like that, where it's like they just hit you with all kinds of different angles of like you could get sick, and just out of caution what we're going to do, because we cannot afford a lot of people to get sick now. We've already taken the economic ramifications. They're just going to normalize the authoritarian measures. Like Trump's told you he's not going to shut the country completely down. So they're going to bring back in like the basically like the psychological morphine they give us, which is sports. They're going to bring that back in. They're going to just make sure everyone's wearing masks. They're going to normalize us wearing masks, which is actually going to cause a lot of people to get sick and die, if you think about it. I mean, they're just like depriving themselves of oxygen repeatedly for long periods of time. You're going to have health effects from that. So that's kind of how I feel, but peace, John. Oh, Rakia Life, a legend, sent me a super chat. Thank you very much, bro. It's coming around. Creation points to God, the creator. Keep up the good work. Will do. Much love, bro. Rakia Life is dope. He's a legend. Yeah, thanks a lot for the super chat, man. And creation points to God, the creator. This is true, right? Even from an intellectual aspect, the necessary antecedent to creation is a creator. And I think that this is the time of things being revealed, and that is God in control of that. And so what they're doing is they're subverting it. They're trying to control it. They're trying to guide it. They know that a ton of truth's coming out. Well, you just come in and then you try to guide the awakening and the truth reveal, are constantly in a state of damage control, right? And then leading us to the solution, again, touting themselves as our heroes. It's really pretty brilliant. People voted Trump to avoid World War III, LOL. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, Hillary Clinton is a complete psychopath. What I'm saying, dude, you don't select them, dude. You don't select them. They just knew they couldn't just put like someone like Hillary in office that's just going to come out here and just like, what she just takes orders from her puppet masters. But like, just like they don't gain the New World Order by all out control, bro. Like they trick us into it, and they've already tricked half the nation. Really, the silent majority, probably like 65% to 70% of the nation. And wait until like some of this dirt comes out on these political figures. Wait until the Seth Rich documentaries and the JFK documentaries come out, exposing all of these things that I've known since I was 18. Like wait until all that comes out. They'll be like, oh, wow, maybe Trump really is doing this. And the reason I hate him is because the fake news is lying to me. And they'll swoop in and just trust Trump. That's how this works. And it's pretty brilliant. You got to give it to him. Smells like a new world order. Yes, but it's just in the making. They're just pushing us toward it. That's why I called out, the YouTube fear porn guys. It's like, dude, chill out, bro. The world isn't ending. You've been saying we're going to martial law for the last probably decade. I don't know. I don't watch your stuff, bro. But like, I just don't like that stuff, bro. It's like, it's stupid. I am a realist, dude. I'm sitting here telling y'all, bro, like they are indeed implementing a new infrastructure. This is the process, social engineering, probably a 10-year process. We need to get our stuff together. We need to become sustainable. We need to wake people up. Like, I'm not sugarcoating it for you, but I'm also not just like trying to scare you with like the ultimate negative, pessimistic conspiracy take so that I can get people to follow me and be scared. So look to me for answers. And that's pathetic and repulsive, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Iran has a warrant for Trump's arrest. Yeah, that's awesome. That's hilarious. Of course, Iran is controlled to Iran, but I think that's hysterical. Trump has been talking crap about China, so maybe it's on with them. I don't know. Like, I thought about it. I don't want to extend my Nostradamus predictions to a war prediction because I don't know. I mean, if you really look at it, the Chinese haven't attacked anyone like ever. Like in 10,000 years or whatever, like they never have. So I don't know. What we do know is that the royals control America, just a corporate extension of the royal bloodlines. And they control China too. And China's the proxy state where they roll out the social credit system and all of this stuff to test it and work out the kinks. And so if the people that control China as a proxy state also control America, and they want to eventually push America towards that because they know the whole world follows America. So that's all. The whole attack's on America. America's being attacked harder than anywhere else because once America goes down, the rest of the world follows suit. Literally, if America wakes up tomorrow and adopts a digital token, then the whole world will have digitalized money within 2 weeks. Did they pretend that they're fighting? I don't know, maybe. Maybe so you don't put those dots together, but is there actually going to be a war? I don't know. I don't think that anybody ever comes and invades America domestically, ever. And that's why I hate when people act like there's nothing we can do against the government. Like, oh, research Vietnam. Those people basically dominated because they had home field advantage. You cannot take us over by force. They don't want to. They're not even going to try it. Way too risky. They're going to make us just demand their solution, bro. But I've seen so many becoming at least diet woke recently, especially as the beer bug started becoming a thing. Exactly, bro. The blue pill normies are becoming diet woke because that's what the grabblers want. They want everyone to reach this state of diet wokeness so that they can come in with a solution, right? Like, oh, this old structure was corrupt. It's quite obvious. But I did say in my stream that I posted earlier today from yesterday, it's like really go out there and make sure you cement the truth in your loved ones and people you know right now while you can, while people are starting to see through the BS. You need to go tell them right now. You need to go send them. I'll link all those documents. Like, you need to go show them that, look, man, even the CDC says that you could just have the cold. The numbers are inflated. Mortality rates are unsubstantiated. PCR testing is speculative based on indicative factors, which literally means it's a guess. Like, there's no proof for any of this at all, right? Like, asymptomatic doesn't spread at all whatsoever. I have a clinical study I can show you where one person was asymptomatic and they got around 455 people. Nobody contracted it. You need to, even those are blue pill things, because we're accepting their numbers. We're still turning to CDC. We're believing the pseudoscientific foundation of virology, right, in the current connotation. You need to go wake them up, because the psychological ramifications of falling for the same trick twice are astounding. Like, they're astronomical. Everyone fell for the trick, and now if they start to see through the trick, which they're inflating the numbers. A lot of Republicans think it's politicized, right? So you see through the trick. If you fall back into falling for the same trick that you've already seen through, you may be lost forever, right? Because at that point, they're not tricking you. You're tricking yourself. You're making a decision to lie to yourself, to convince yourself adamantly to believe contrary to what you've already accepted and known to be true. If you double down, or more so, if you believe they're doubled down, that's really, really bad territory. So we do need to, although it's exhausting, I know, that's why I've chilled out on making live. I'm tired of talking about the stupid things they choose us to talk about. But now it's July, close to August. You need to wake people up and make sure they're equipped mentally with the knowledge to see through the coming psyop of the second wave. I try to tell my family on Facebook. I doubt many listen. All you can do is try, bro. Many people aren't going to listen. God's word is the truth. That is correct. We going at Rogan here? Oh, yeah. Smash the Rogans up. Because Joe Rogan looks like a human thumb. And he works for the CIA or Mossad. Tomato. Gets his talking points, controlled opposition. Just like Owen says, he wants a bunch of young men to go around just constantly squirting and taking drugs and living in this state of apathy, nihilism, and materialism because, young men are the biggest threat to their plans. No time to mess around with being nice. You gotta slap people with the facts. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And guys, I really do encourage that everyone goes and checks this out right here. Because this is very intriguing, right? This just happened today. And so, like, dude, I don't know. Sometimes even I'm like, Austin, you're making a little bit of bold predictions here. I'm not going to lie. But, like, I think they really may implement the new digitalized settlement system for the next stimulus package so it goes out much more efficiently. And this is perfect. Like, this is perfectly in line with that. They are put, like, 2020, the year of the digital asset. Like, they are pushing us towards digitalization. And not financial advice, but XRP is really cheap right now. So you just may want to research it. That's all I'm saying, because it's really stupid to sit back and to just watch these wealthy trillionaires and billionaires laugh at you, the unknowing, useless eaters, as they make the greatest transference of wealth in the history of mankind, right? Like the biggest technological leap since the internet, when people used to laugh at the internet. And that is, that's not buying into the beast system, because you're going to be using it. The beast system will come after they implement this system. This will be a domestic system. The beast system will come after that. The beast system will be like everyone comes together and agrees on this new mark or whatever, like of digitalization. They have to normalize the digitalization first. So you should maybe try and take advantage of it and then immediately turn it into tangible wealth, tangibility of land and water, and make it to where you're self-sustainable. Both my dad and my sister's boyfriend are finally starting to consider they've been lied to on a big scale. I think I know where that rabbit hole goes. Could I be wrong? I don't know where you think it goes. Brenda said today there is no God because we killed him. So that means God existed then? Brenda is like the epitome of like psychopathic. I love how articulate you are. It have to do with Antarctica? Not sure what that means. I've subscribed. Sweet, bro. Much love. We are, of course, shadow banned, but I don't do this for anything like that. I mean, I just told some people I'd start going live a lot again, so why not? And then let's check out this little graveler again. See if y'all can put in the chat what y'all think the graveler's thinking about while he takes his mask off. Wherever it's at. Oh, I just want to go home and squirt. These people just aren't listening to me. But I'm the secret king. He looks miserable, bro. He's like, damn, this is just not working. Oh, y'all are laughing about not wearing your little mask? I don't know. Well, I just think that looking at that dude is so funny. He's thinking I should have worn my wife's underwear today. Maybe so, bro. Does he have a wife? Is she actually a girl? You never know nowadays. That's all I'm saying. Look at him. He knows it's a game. Yes, exactly. Thoughts on Richie from Boston? No. I live near a lot of old, annoying, old, miserable people. Maybe you should just go red pill them, man, and get to know them. Get to know your neighbors. We're living in the best apocalypse ever. You should get to know your surroundings. Say something intelligent and I'll listen. So far you're batting 1,000. Appreciate it. Ostradamus, bro. Check out Fauci's connection to vaccine companies. Fauci is the first one that made the false correlation between HIV and AIDS. Yeah, bro. I'm not taking the bait, Mark. Sorry. What will people in future think about this pandemic? I don't know. What do you think about the Spanish flu? What does the average person think about the Spanish flu? They think that flus can have ethnic connotation, that tons of people died from the Spanish flu, right? So it's hard to say. I mean, if they continue to control the media and the curriculum like they do now, they'll probably think that tons of people died. They'll probably leave higher numbers than even we do now, to be honest. Pandemic will go down in history. Sure. Depends on who wins the war on consciousness. Yeah, well, what I think is that, and I don't want to get into theological discussion. Lucifer's the prince of the earth, and ultimately he's going to be able to control the kings on the earth. And God's in control of everything ultimately, but we're in the time of things being revealed. They can't prevent that. But of course, Lucifer is outside of time as well, and much smarter than any of us are. He's been here forever, right? So he's going to infiltrate via like demonic fleshly desires of these little low-level puppets like Fauci, who thinks he's got some juice, but would never tell any of us in person what to do because he's a little gamma. And they'll kind of guide this awakening because he's behind the strings or behind the scene pulling the strings. That's my take. So can the consciousness win? I mean, we need to seek and speak truth as much as we can. I'm not God. I'm not a prophet. I don't know the exact timeline. I don't know whenever all of this rule pops off when it comes to revelations and anything like that. They are socially engineering us to accept the New World Order. We need to wake people up to that. That's all I know. I can't really give you a timeline. I would guess 10 years if I had to, gun to my head. Seems clear Spanish flu came about at the same time as radio waves were significantly increased. Yeah, it does appear that way. How convenient that the Holocaust has like the same exact symptoms as radiation sickness. Yeah, and oxygen deprivation. While they tell you to wear a mask. Oh, are you getting dizzy and have migraines and shortness of breath? You probably have the COVID. Or you're wearing a mask, preventing yourself from breathing oxygen. You know, like that, like it pisses me off so much when I see elderly people wearing the mask. Like, dude, I was in a business the other day for work. I had an appointment, and this older lady walked in. She was wearing a mask, and then she just like looks around. She takes her mask off. She's like, "Can I take this off? Because it's like incredibly hot." I was like, yeah, take it off. Like, I didn't work there or anything, you know, but I didn't own the business. I was like, yes, take it off. Like, you know how disgusting that is, that like that 90-year-old lady is going around to get her hair done in the sun and she can't breathe because she's wearing a mask, and she's like constantly scared like that she feels like she has to wear the mask because everyone tells her to, and she has to ask permission to breathe. You know, like if you're like in your 30s and 40s and you want to wear a mask and you're stupid, go for it, bro. You know, like you're an idiot. But like it makes me mad when I see elderly people, man. Probably like this is part of eugenics. Holocaust also has a massive flu shot campaign that preceded as well. Yes, exactly. And you can just read that you can test positive for coronavirus with the flu vaccine. And now CDC is telling you that they may have conflated COVID with just the regular coronavirus that causes the cold that you get when you take the flu vaccine. Yeah. So I don't see how people don't see it. Sorry, I'm out. Gingers have no soul. That was pretty funny. Why do you people think any of this is going to end? Restrictions will only tighten thanks to mass apathy. I do believe that they will continue to push the totalitarianism measures, but yeah, I don't know. I think that Trump champions. He kind of calls out the inflation of the numbers and stuff in the narrative, saying that it was politicized. I think that they're all on the same team. Like the illusion that Trump's fighting these people it's going to obviously be a lie. I think most people here know that, but that is going to be the psyop. And so the other side, the reason that it works well for them is because what they're doing is they're just going all out with just stupidity. They're like, wear a mask, like prevent yourself from breathing, give up your business, give up your ability to protect yourself, defend yourself, do all these crazy measures, right? And support yourself, give up sustainability rights and listen to the government, police each other, all this crazy nonsense. But they still have it covered on the back end where if the logical person who is their actual threat, the higher IQ, logical people, IQ isn't a huge deal, but like the real logical people, that's the real threat, right? Bearing logical people. They have them covered on the back end with Trump. So what they're doing is they're pushing the left so far left that the right concedes ground while claiming to be right, although it is now the left. And people don't see it. And so they have that covering the logical people while they socially engineer us to slowly concede ground to complete and utter chaos. It's pretty brilliant. I'm about to get out of here, though. I think you're likely right about so much. Maybe it's just my biased optimism waiting to believe things are getting better. I do think we live in the time of things being revealed. Things will begin to get better in the sense that truth is going to exponentially be revealed and like proportionate to the amount of power moves they make, more so the immensity of the power move they make. So if you follow what I'm trying to say, it's like they're trying to make really big moves right now. A proportionate amount of truth will be revealed outside of their control. And what they will do is subvert and taint that truth reveal, guide the awakening to where they give you the solution. So that's what you have to be on your toes about. But yes, there's something going on right now that they're out of control of, and that is the veils being removed. But that is not the end of the battle, right? Like as the veil's being removed, they basically try to put up another curtain, or they try to take you past the veil into the wrong corridor or something, if you understand. Do Americans really have to put in thousands debt, but they spend so much money on their army? We don't even get to choose the facilitation of our money, so what's it matter? Bullets are not the answer, but can surely protect you from the questions. Nice, bro. Yeah, man, that's definitely a big thing to probably invest in, ammunition, or the ability to make your own. Classic Hegelian tactics, I agree. Yeah, exactly. Really not even. It's crazy. You know what's so crazy? For us that are like woke, if you want to call it that, like none of this is really that complicated. None of it's hard to understand. Like you just problem, reaction, solution, and you just apply that to everything that's going on. You can always see the bigger picture. It's so easy for us. And then when you look at the blue pill normie, it's like looking at just like a sea of zombies that have no idea what's going on. And for us, we're just like, dude, it's so simple. It's so simple. You know, like, how about just drink some distilled water, man, and stop watching so much porn and watching the news. Like, patents have been released that they manipulate your nervous system, bro. Like, stop watching the news infiltrated by the CIA and, you know, watching runaways get plowed, owned by the grabblers. Just stop with the depravity, bro. Like, seek and speak truth unequivocally, void of emotional predisposition. That's all you got to do, man, is actually want to know what the truth is and not be scared of it. But we're just sitting over here like, it's like talking to brick walls. So It really is so easy to understand, which makes it frustrating. Yes, exactly, bro. Exactly. And I feel that way a lot. I feel that way even within the truth community, because I'm like, guys, the QAnon psychological operations is a deep military operation. It is going to come to fruition, appear to come true. It's going to look like Obama's getting out. It's going to look like Hillary's getting out. Then they're going to go to their island. They're not really going to go to Guantanamo Bay or be executed or something like that. But like, it is going to appear that this stuff's coming true. Flynn exonerated. Seth Rich is going to come out and they're going to, basically exonerate his memory by showing why he was murdered. JFK is going to appear to be, vindicated, and like all this stuff is going to happen. Like Trump's going to be heralded as a hero. He was cast in the world play as a hero. He's going to come in to save the day. He's going to out the Federal Reserve's corruption only to bring in the economic structural replacements that those very people that put the Federal Reserve in place in the first place want to be the replacement. Like, and people act like I'm a, oh, you believe in the QAnon thing? Like, no. Do you not listen? So it's whatever. It's just like, I think it's laughable. Like when truthers like want to take the safe way out. It's like, you're not a truther. That's not what truthers do, bro. That's not what they do. They don't make like the easy predictions and just sit there reluctantly ignoring things until they're forced to accept. That's not what truthers do, right? So there, got that out. Thanks for doing a live stream, Austin. Much appreciated. Made my day. Yeah, of course, no doubt. Much love. Smart, unvaccinated lives matter. Nice. Obama and his husband. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that comes out. Maybe. It honestly may. You people are underestimating the PSYOP. If you wanted to change everything, if you wanted to change the foundations of everything, to implement an internet bill of rights, but really now the government's in control of that idea. If you wanted to create government dependence, if you wanted to strip rights, if you wanted to change economic structure, media structure, technological structure, you would have to make such a chaotic atmosphere mixed in with truth that people are foreign to, 99% of the population, where they're constantly just looking in all directions, trying to keep up, and then they slip that structure in. That is the only way that it's accomplished. And that's what's happening. The Q concept has a thread of genius, though. Perception is reality. What if some patriotic soldiers believe it and start taking out key folks? Maybe we can create something even better. Well, that's what's so crazy, bro. Yes, like I think that a lot of the people in the PSYOP, they believe it's just like almost everyone in NASA thinks we live on a spinning cartoon ball, right? It's the same idea, compartmentalization. I think there really is. There's a DIA. I think most of the people that work for that, they really do think that they're like the patriots, the higher ranking military, that they're trying to get out the corrupt people in the government. Like they really believe that. And they probably will get a lot of these people out. The grabblers don't care, bro. The grabblers are sitting back like, I don't care that Jim Bob that used to be super corrupt and the CIA goes down. Like they don't care at all. They don't even know that dude's name. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think a lot of it will be organic and genuine. So, but I guess basically what you're saying is it creates a window of opportunity. And I agree with that as well. But what most people will do is out of pride and ego and fear, they will only reluctantly accept some of this like depravity and corruption that comes out. As they're forced to do so, they'll just reluctantly accept it, and that's where they'll stop. They'll only start to look into or accept what they are like forced to, what is given to them by the PSYOP, and that way we won't. And, you got to push past that and be like, oh no, let's keep going. Wait, it's like you went to a Jesuit school and got bailed out by the Rothschilds for like $4.7 billion. Trump, can you explain to us why you did that? Like until we get to that level, it's a pipe dream. You know what I'm saying? Haha, grabblers with the small hats. Yeah. What do you think about Agenda 2030, 21? Well, 21 means the 21st century. 2030, it's about 10 years from now, whenever the whole world flipped upside down. So, it was already upside down, though, right? According to you little Jesuits. But yeah, sustainable development laws, they want to control and facilitate everything. Oh, then forget it. He's a royal piece of crap. I've never used anything he says. He's really a turnoff. Yeah, he's just a part of the club. Bro, Kane, the former wrestler from WWE, voted against masks in Tennessee. Nice. I really don't care what they do. I'm not wearing a mask. They could shoot me before I put one on. Worth more doll hairs coming your way soon. Thanks, bro. Much love. Thank you for the super chat. Do Do Jews and Jesuits really rule the world? Yeah. Jesuits, Masons, Zionists, yes. Tomato, tomato. They all rule the world. Yeah. They run the world. Like the prince of the earth rules it, really. And God's in control of all of it. But he allows us to be free, even Lucifer. But yeah, all of those that adhere to Luciferian doctrine, the esoteric belief system, so secret societies, they do indeed control like everything, like the bank, the media, the food, the water, like everything you can think of, the governments. So yeah, I mean, pretty much. Q is proof psyops are real. Military intel. Exactly. And it's a very good psyop, bro. It's a very good one. And most people haven't even woke up to it. Like the truthers have heard of Q from the jump. And we think, dude, y'all are diet woke, like y'all are freaking out about the government did some corrupt things. Like, oh, how impressive. Majority of the public, they think that it's a crazy conspiracy theory that could never happen. So you see how the psyop's going to work. They're going to get all those people. We're going to be sitting over here in the corner like, guys, please stop blindly believing the psychological operation coming from the military. We're going to be a small minority. Right now, QAnoners are a minority. That will move like this because a lot of things will come out. All right, guys, I'm about to wrap this up. Under the illuminated eye, they run their daddy's script. Yeah, exactly. Luciferian doctrine. Has there ever been a society where the people were free? Probably. Relatively. But I don't know. It's hard to even know what happened in history, man. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. But much love. Let's do a little recap. I usually do a little recap. All right. So for all of the little grabblers that want to come censor everything, you're actually not supposed to do that. You don't even need this. It's called the Constitution. But I told you guys, yes, he's going to implement something to the effect of Internet Bill of Rights. This is just the beginning stages, so Trump can be heralded as a hero to protect our rights. Freedom to express and debate ideas is the foundation of all rights as a free people. So why don't you check that out and read it, you little grabblers, before you come continuously shadow ban and remove all my stuff. I'll post this on my Facebook, cdc.gov. If you test positive, a positive test result shows that you have antibodies from an infection within the virus that causes COVID-19. However, there is a chance a positive result means that you have antibodies from an infection with a virus from the same family of viruses called coronaviruses, such as the one that causes the common cold. So probably all of the positive tests are actually the common cold. That's what they're sitting here telling you. They know people are starting to wake up because of things like this, so they're now scaring you with something else. New swine flu in China could morph to cause human pandemic, study warns. But of course it could not. It's complete stupid. Oh, coronavirus pandemic speeding up. Look at them just hitting you over the head back to back. I mean, they're doubling down on the fear so that you just accept whatever they come in with. And it's going to be, again, framed as if a politicized attack against Trump is why there is an inflation of fear. I'm not watching this again, but this is Trump saying he's not going to shut down the country if there's a second wave. This is a whole bunch of people that just are incapable of critical assessment, pledging an oath to the Constitution. This is just, I'm showing you this just to show you this is starting to go mainstream. People are even as much as, Senate nominees. So again, my prediction stays the same. QAnon goes mainstream. Here's a little grabbler. As soon as the cameras are off, at least he thinks, he's like, oh, I can breathe now. Whew. And of course, this dude tops out at 5'2", probably loves Joe Rogan and watches gay porn. This is the Economist on Twitter trying to scare you. Like, look at all these things they say could happen. And of course, when you actually look into it, solar flare onto the Earth that's way smaller than the sun. Well, that doesn't happen. That isn't going to happen. That's complete and total pseudoscience. Nuclear bombs don't exist. I will briefly explain that to you that don't know. So, yeah, I mean, Nikola Tesla said he disintegrated atoms with millions and billions of volts and nothing ever happened. And Supposedly, we nuked Japan on the 7th and the 9th, and then they surrendered. But really, what happened was we firebombed them. They had been firebombed the entire summer. They originally reported this firebombing. On the 8th, Russia sent a letter saying that they're backing out of their peace agreement with Japan. There was 1 million Russian troops invading from the north on the 9th, which is the very day they surrendered. We claimed it was because we dropped a second nuclear bomb then, but we did not. It was illegal to report that as an American citizen under threat of execution because of treason. So there you go. Viruses, virology is pseudoscience. There's been no scientific correlation substantiated with a clinical study that was controlled to show that viruses are the causality of illness and disease. So this very idea itself is also fake. Have you seen a reoccurring pattern here? Not real, not real, not real. Asteroid hitting the globe Earth, of course, not real. I don't even know what the sun and the water is supposed to be. Maybe that's global warming and the water's rising or whatever. Well, whatever it is, it's not real. Volcanoes, I don't know. I've heard maybe a lot of that isn't even real. I'm not really going to speak on that. I don't know. But the swine flu, not real. Some disease in animal tissue cannot translate to human tissue. It is completely stupid. Now they're telling you that they're particularly programming you to go to gas masks as opposed to normal masks. I guess they're trying to scare you and just normalize the idea of preventing yourself from breathing adequately. And then the idea that we should just, fight wars and be drafted as children. All this is fear porn, nonsense, propaganda. This just came out by The Economist, so just showing you they're trying to really double down on the fear propaganda and fear porn. Prediction, I think that clarity about what happened to JFK, even though it may not be the entirety of the truth, because it appears he may not have even been assassinated. If you really look into it, either way, they'll let you know probably something to the effect of George Bush Sr. seems to be behind it. The same person that JFK fired, the CIA, was the same one that came back, wasn't in charge of the investigation of his assassination. Obviously, it wasn't a single shooter, all this other stuff. Diet Woke version. It was released 2018, but redacted, but I expect it to come out here pretty soon. And Trump will be heralded as the hero that releases the truth. Brother of murder DNC staffer Seth Rich wants Twitter to unmask FBI leaker. This is from May, but I was just showing you that his brother is even coming out. His family, who's probably been gotten to or given a big check, are trying to cover this up. But he was definitely murdered by someone tied to, let's say, the Clintons, who murder everybody. Expect well-documented propaganda to come out exposing this and explaining how Seth Rich is basically a hero to further the narrative that the deep state has been in spiral mode against Trump because he's draining the swamp and he's going to exonerate or vindicate Seth Rich. That is coming soon. Expect some more dirt of Obama to come out. As you see, people all agree that he's not above the law. 85% to 14%. So yes, Obamagate was trending already on Twitter. So expect something to come out about how he abused his presidential power to spy on a political opponent, which of course is nothing compared to most of the stuff that he did. And he's allegedly a sodomite who's married to a tranny and dropped more bombs than every other president combined. This is the United States Court of Appeals, Hillary Rodham Clinton. She then had to June 2nd, she had to answer some questions. She wasn't really deposed. It was more of like this legalized protection communication ordeal over the phone because of the pandemic Holocaust, but she's supposed to return in September, I believe. So expect some Diet Woke clarity to come out against Hillary Clinton to justify the draining of the swamp and the idea that Trump is really going to put her in trouble. That was one of his main promises. So I would predict this begins to happen before the election. Of course, September is perfect alignment for all these things to happen. And then I told you that they are moving us to the digitalization of money because they know that the current economic structure is already imploding. They're causing major hyperinflation underneath the guise of the Holocaust. We're in the stage of hopium. They're about to sign another stimulus package, which will just further the stage of hopium, cause greater hyperinflation. It will inevitably crash and implode. Trump passed the Federal Reserve Transparency Act, bringing the Federal Reserve over to basically nationalizing it, or at least in essence, because now the National Treasury is in charge of allocation of funds. They will eventually do away with the Fed, replace with a new economic system that has a digitalized ledger system backing it for faster settlement. And this came out today, or well, it was signed a little bit before this, but it became active today, July 1st. The United States, Mexico, Canada trade fact sheet, modernizing NAFTA. That is a digitalization, is what that means. Of course, you come down here and it explains it to you. So I'll link this. Just check it out. It's pretty interesting. Digital trade right in front of your face. All right, guys. I know that might have been a little bit of quick, but I'm going to get out of here. I'll link all the stuff in the description box below once the video uploads. And yeah, there you go. Seek and speak truth unequivocally, no matter what people say. A bunch of little gammas are going to try to scare you. A bunch of little brain dead normies, brainwash, are going to try to prevent you from speaking the truth. It's probably never been more pivotal in modern history to go slay wizards and break spells and speak the truth than right now, certainly this month, prior to them doubling down completely on the idea that everyone's dying from something that doesn't even exist. So yeah, I'll catch up with y'all probably tomorrow. I'm not really sure when, but I'm going to start doing frequent streams. So don't worry, guys. I shall be back. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the love. Thanks for kicking it with us. And I will catch up with y'all manana. Peace.